Here we are with an opportunity to win the division. That's all that matters is winning the games.
Trevor fires right, caught for the touchdown!
Let's go!
Another opportunity for us to be great.
Melo made it right.
Trevor Lawrence has taken a massive leap in his second season. The #1 overall pick of the 2021 draft, now looking the part. His rookie season was a struggle, 12 touchdown passes and 17 interceptions. This season, he's top 10 in the league in touchdown to interception ratio. His 24 touchdown passes are second most in a season in Jags history. And as Jeff Darlington points out, the turning point came in week 9.
Lawrence looks to the end zone, the left side. Is he in? Yes, he is for the touchdown.
He's coming into his zone. He's showing people why he's the #1 overall pick.
He fires right on the fade. It is caught.
14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You lead the NFL since week 9 in completion percentage. Where do you pinpoint the improvement in your game and how you were able to actually get there?
I know in order to play this game at a high level, you have to be really, really confident. And I think I lacked that the last, year or so prior to this run we've gone on. I had a lot of conversations with different, players and coaches, and I just hit a point where I'm like, I have to just go play free.
I gotta get better.
And that was the point where I just was like, man, I gotta be better for this team, for the guys around me. In order for us to get where we want to go, I really have to start playing better.
Lawrence lofting. He's got a man wide open in the right corner of the end zone.
Is this among the first times you felt that way?
I think just, this game is really challenging. Everybody's super gifted and talented, but mentally, it's a long season. It's a lot different than college. You're playing against the best every single week. I was putting in the work, I was putting in the time. It was more about just somehow getting that confidence back. Coaches did a great job of instilling that in me, and they never lost that faith in me regardless of, maybe a couple shaky games early on. They still kept firing. That's what Coach Peterson does.
What do you remember about Doug Peterson standing in front of the team and mentioning something about a crystal ball?
So we played Kansas City. We got beat up there, and we had just beaten the Raiders the week before. Went to Kansas City, thinking, all right, we're about to go on a run. Kansas City beats us in Kansas City, and he's sitting in the locker room. He's like, man, I know how you guys are feeling. I understand. He goes, I feel the same exact way. But let me tell you something. It's going to come down to week 18. He's like, I got a crystal ball. This season's going to come down to week 18, and we're going to have a chance to make a run. And we're all sitting there just, pissed about the game and listening to him, but also kind of like, man, I think we were 3-7 at that point, about to go in the bye week. Like, we got to do some soul searching in this bye week.
Lawrence, touchdown!
And here we are, week 18. Comes down to this, and
Crystal ball.
It's funny looking back at it. Coach called it.
The credit Peterson, not just for the crystal ball trick, but for infusing Lawrence with confidence. Because after that Week 8 loss in London, Lawrence was shell-shocked. And the guys, look, dude, like, we love you. We embrace you. But you have to play with confidence.
Right.
And, Robert, it triggered something. What have you seen since?
Yeah, since Week 10, I think, for Trevor Lawrence, it's been the control of his arm talent that has really been on display. It's not enough to just be able to throw the ball hard, far, and make these difficult throws, but to know when to do it at the right time. So we talk about his arm talent right here. Kelly Joseph, the corner, is going to get hit with a double move on what is supposed to be a play-action, semi-roll setup. But Trevor Lawrence is going to have to break the pocket, and he makes the difficult look so easy. This is one of the hardest throws in football, to be moving to your right and throw a dime down the football field for a touchdown. Watch this next one. Now, this bad boy is just, put this one on repeat. This is making every offensive coordinator around the league happy. Watch the safety's not even going to get off the hash. Trevor Lawrence never takes his eyes off of his outside receiver. And look at this window that he has to throw the football into. He doesn't just make this throw. He puts some stank on it, Booger. And right there, that's unbelievable right there. Only 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league can make that throw. And then this one right here, this is an example of his confidence. Look at when he throws this football. He's got a safety and a linebacker underneath. It doesn't matter if you have the perfect coverage. He's going to read and anticipate, get the ball to his man, Christian Kirk. And when you talk about the numbers, Susie, with Trevor Lawrence, his completion percentage is up 7 points from last year. He's doubled the amount of touchdown passes that he had from last year. And last year was very disappointing. I think the combination of the skill guys they put around him and Doug Peterson coming in have really made a difference for Trevor Lawrence. And you're seeing not just a confident guy, but a quarterback who knows, I belong here.
Yeah, and he's playing well, but every quarterback has a little kryptonite. It's called pass rush. And if you want to get after Trevor Lawrence, you're going to have to do it with the Tennessee Titans up front. and it's got to be led by Jeffrey Simmons and Danico Autry. Jeffrey Simmons, who I think should be first-team All-Pro, 7.5 sacks on the season, 26 pressures. Danico Autry, he's missed some time, 8 sacks, 32 pressures. Here's a stat. I'm not big on stats, but I'm going to give you one. When these two play together, this team is 6-4. When one of them is out, they are 1-5. Danico Autry did not play in the first game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guess what, Susie? Something tells me they're both playing tonight.
I think so. And they're both rested because they both sat last week.
Yes.
The big guys are rested and ready. All right, so let's go. One more thing to do, our game picks. Presented by Caesars Sportsbook. According to Caesars, America likes the Jags tonight. 59% of the tickets are on Jacksonville to win by at least 7 points. Robert, how about you?
Susie, I'm going with long hair, don't care. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, I mean, they're hotter than fish grease right now. I think they're going to make that playoff push and win the AFC South.
29-18. Duval!
This feels like a playoff game, right? So I was here for the 1999 AFC Championship game. The Jags, like tonight, were favored. I took the Jags. 23 years later, I'm finally going to be right.
Okay.
There you go.
Next NFL season makes his second ever NFL start for a team he's only been with for a little more than 2 weeks in what is essentially a playoff game. But the good thing is this team is rested. The last played on Thursday, and a lot of their starters sat that game, including Derrick Henry, who is angry with the way he played in the second half in their loss in Week 14 to this team. But is Derrick Henry enough? Can they keep up with the Jags?
Well, if you listen to the outside public, he's all they got, right? It's got to be the Derrick Henry show. And he has to carry this team tonight, and it doesn't have to be for 200 yards. But he's got to get 20 to 30 attempts tonight because that's going to make Jacksonville concentrate on the run. And when you stop the run, it's strictly math. They're going to bring an extra safety down in the box, which is going to give Dobbs an opportunity to throw the football over the top to Westbrook-Akine and Treylon Burks. They average about 16 yards a carry, 16 yards per catch apiece. The big play down the field will be key, but it's got to start with Derrick Henry. They have to make Jacksonville think, we're going to run the football, we're going to shorten the game, we're going to make you honor the run tonight.
Yeah, Booger, it always starts with Derrick Henry when it comes to the Tennessee Titans, and there's a lot more things that Josh Dobbs is having to fight other than, the fact that he hasn't been there that long, Susie. He threw 39 passes against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's more than double the career passes he had coming into that game. And then secondly, he's fighting history. Back in 2018, the Titans needed a win in the last game of the year to get into the playoffs, and the backup quarterback, Blaine Gabbert, couldn't get it done against my main man, Andrew Luck. So, the universe is conspiring against Josh Dobbs right now, but I think the bigger question, Susie, is what's going on with Malik Willis? If you're going to get a guy off of the practice squad of the Detroit Lions on December 21st, are you saying that you've given up on Malik Willis or you just don't believe in him?
On your rookie you drafted.
Well, I don't think they've given up on Malik Willis. I think the game is moving too fast for Malik Willis. And anytime you have a win and get in type situation, you need a guy for this game. I'm not concerned about Malik Willis and his future. I'm concerned about tonight. Can you be a professional quarterback tonight, as in Josh Dobbs? Can you run the offense? I think they have more confidence in Dobbs doing that than they do in Malik Willis. Not to say that Malik Willis can't be a good player later on, RG,
right.
But tonight, they need a professional quarterback that can make the simple reads, and I think they feel better in Dobbs.
Dobbs had almost as many yards passing in his one start as Malik Willis had in 3 games.
Yes.
Correct. I'm not.
Part of that's game plan.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting here saying that Josh Dobbs didn't play better than Malik Willis has this year.
Right.
But if you're a coach and it's your job to get the guy ready to play, and you've had all season to do that,
right.
and he's not there. Isn't that an indictment on the coaching less than it is on the player? Because if you draft him in this situation and I got to win it in, I'm going to go put Malik Willis out there because he's been with the team. He just gave a fiery speech to the team a week ago, and then they ended up benching him for Josh Dobbs. I don't understand what's going on right there with Malik Willis. And
I think it's, to your point, I'll give you credit, I think it's an indictment on both. The coaching staff hasn't gotten him ready, and Malik Willis, his talent hasn't been able to come through. You know this.
Right.
When the game is moving so fast, your talent can't come through.
Right.
It's moving too fast for him right now. He's thinking, yeah, he's got that big arm. Yeah, he can run the football, but the game has to slow down, and it hasn't slowed down for him yet.
Yeah, and I think – I know, Sue, I know we got to go, but I think the bottom line of what you're getting at is that Malik Willis just isn't quite ready yet.
Yes.
And you see some of that play out in his game, but how bad is that for the Tennessee Titans when you have to go get a practice squad guy to come now be your starter in a must-win game?
Dobbs, we've heard, and you'll hear a lot more about tonight, is a super smart guy.
Oh, yeah.
He says he feels really comfortable with this. And after all, if you're a kid and you're dreaming about the NFL, Isn't this the exact scenario you
Yes.
want? He loves it. All right. So tonight we have King Henry on one side and the King of Duval County on